So it has been a long time coming with getting a handbrake installed into the FRS.
But everything takes a long time with ambush drift.
Yeah, exactly. About maybe a year and a half ago, I had ordered the Nameless hydraulic handbrake, which is chilling right in the passenger seat right here. And one night during the summer, when my friends were over all drinking and just hanging out, I decided to go ahead and mock up a little custom steel plate that attaches to the shifter assembly holes. Well, not shifter assembly, but I guess the shifter bracket. That's actually it right there. And then there's 4 bolts that go through it. So yeah, I made this, and just talking with Drift Dad, once we started this install, he figured that this little piece here is gonna be a little bit too flimsy. So I went ahead and purchased some 3/8" aluminum plate off of Amazon that we're gonna use.
A little bit overkill. You should have ordered the 1/4" plate. Would have been easier to
Yeah,
cut.
yeah, exactly.
So that wasn't my cut, by the way. That was, don't even look at that. See, that's a nice cut there. It's how I like my workbench.
Yeah, your trash can, you
Trash
mean?
can workbench. Someday, we'll have a real workbench that doesn't have a bunch of crap on it.
So while Drift Dad is messing with the bracket that we're gonna attach the handbrake to, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on installing the PBM dual caliper knuckle, rear upper control arm, and Z32 brake. Alright, fast forward a whole other day. Well, not day, but 12 hours, because it is the morning now. We kind of ran into a couple of issues with just trying to get this whole side installed, but we did manage to do so outside of running all of the brake lines, at least from the inside of the car to the caliper. Now we're just beginning to start on the passenger side, and now that we know all of the little tricks with installing the driver's side, we'll be able to share them with you on the passenger.
Hey, Nutless, can I get your help?
Nutless?
Yeah, Nutless. So last night, we're underneath the car, and I don't know, we're tightening up the lower control arm or something, and I have the wrench on it, and I'm tightening, and Alan's holding the other side, and I'm just tightening, I'm on the bolt side, and I'm just tightening and tightening, and I was like, man, this thing is like forever. And I said, Alan, are you sure you're on the other side? Well, he had the wrench on it, but there was no nut. And so we're like saying, he's nutless. I don't get it. I don't get it. It was like, holy smokes.
So that's the new nickname.
Nutless.
So Nutless and Drift Dad are now removing the e-brake shoes, and to do so you just have to take off all of the little springs that are on them. Now one thing with the Partshopmax dual caliper knuckle is that you're not going to be able to retain your stock handbrake. So we're just
Nor do you want to, right?
Yeah, no, there's no point. I mean, of course, if you want to park. So we're just disassembling everything as far as the e-brake is concerned and removing all of the lines.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, from all of the handbrake pulls, yeah. Yeah, those have seen better days. You can see we already have removed the cable handbrake as well as a couple of the lines from the inside. Just about all of the lines from the inside. And I've begun just figuring out all of the hardline routes for the hydro. I didn't mention this, but I did pick up the independent master cylinder handbrake kit from Partshopmax as well. That's on their website that they sell, so it comes with everything you need. So I've been trying to route that, as well as get the lines plugged into the hydro itself. So it's slowly but surely coming together. All right, so we have the wheel bearing and brake disc guard off. You will have to modify it to fit with the dual caliper setup. That's what Drift Dad's doing right now.
Keeping this plate, but taking the outer guard off. So they just spot welded in various places, so you just gotta cut it initially, and then just use a chisel, and then just go over each of the punch, or each of the spot welds, and it'll come out. Now don't put that on camera.
What?
Me holding the hammer like a girl up here.
Well, I do think you just offended all the girls that watch the videos.
Well, no, they held hammers.
Yeah, back yourself out of this one.
No, not like a girl. That was wrong. I'm sorry, you ladies out there. Like a wimp.
Okay, better.
What's better? Well, see, I just did it again. I held it up like that. Voila.
All right, knuckle and control arm are off.
Oh, I thought you were calling me a knuckle.
Knuckle,
I
why
thought you
would
were
I-
going to call me a knucklehead.
But we have both of those off. This is what they look like, if you're curious. At least stock knuckle and upper control arm. We're ready to put on the Partshopmax ones. Because you can adjust for camber from the top of the control arm here, you're gonna have to make sure that you balance out your lower control arm distance and your upper control arm distance as far as how many threads you have out. And on the driver's side, we did that, and we got to what we thought might be somewhat maybe zero camber. But as far as taking everything apart, it's going to be a combination of a bunch of 17mm nuts and bolts and I think a couple 19. And of course, the 10mm speed sensor bolt and the 12mm bolt that holds in the brake line. Partshopmax knuckle and control arm is in. We still gotta tighten everything down. One thing to note is that you will need the Partshopmax toe arm. And if you do have a set of these toe arms and you ran them on your stock knuckle, you're gonna need to take out this bolt to get this, what would you call that? That long bolt out, because that's how, with at least the stock knuckle, it would mount. So we're just gonna use an impact on the back of here to take it off. And it should hopefully come out relatively easy. Yep. Perfect. All right, we have been making a lot of good progress. We finished up the passenger side. We didn't bolt down the Z32 caliper just yet because we're now in the process of running all of the brake lines. Knucklehead down there is messing around with the hardline routing as it goes through the interior of the car and out of this little grommet. Actually, the grommet's right here, where both of the e-brake cables used to go. So we don't have to really drill in, make any holes in the transmission tunnel to route the lines. Okay, so we have pretty much routed the hard line into the interior of the car. It comes out right here. We just gotta figure out mounting position. But before we do that, we're gonna make a quick trip to Ace Hardware to pick up another fitting that I guess we need. Nacho, what are you doing? You chewed a hole through your blanket and you got your head stuck in it.
He chewed a bunch of holes through his blanket.
Nacho, you did this to yourself. I don't know what you're trying to do.
This blanket is probably 2 weeks old. And it's not like it's ripped. I mean, the material's missing. He ate it. Yeah. He ate it.
You silly boy. Nacho, don't take the blanket outside. Take it back inside. Come on, go inside. Go inside, come on. Okay, so the passenger side is complete. Everything's tightened down. We even attached all of the brake lines and ran all of that underneath the car. And Drift Dad went ahead and knocked out the interior mounting point for the hydro. And it is looking pretty spot on. Plenty of space in between the wheel and the hydro itself. We did have to cut part of the shifter surround and this center console. The only bad thing that's going to keep us from actually finishing this whole hydraulic handbrake install is the fact that we don't have a fitting that comes out of the master into this brake line right here. But that's something that Drift Dad said he would take care of this week.
You gonna order it?
Yeah.
Okay, you order it, then I'll put it on.
Oh man. I'm all dirty and sweaty. But yeah, this is actually one of probably the, not easiest jobs we've done, but most straightforward. Typically, whenever we're working on the car, something happens, I get super bummed out, stressed about it, and just put in a grumpy mood. But I'm pretty happy.
Grumpy mood. I mean, something always goes wrong.
Yeah, I guess. But it's really hard to kind of screw this up.
Oh, we could have screwed it up.
We could have, but we didn't. At least I don't think yet. That's gonna be it for this video. I have to get back to Orlando. I still have some homework that I gotta do that's due tomorrow. I'm in college, I'm responsible enough to get it done.
I'll just laugh so hard. You get to your very last semester, you screw up, and you fail one of the classes and you don't graduate.
No, I will. I'll graduate.
That would be fun.
I will graduate. Either way, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and Drift Dad and I will see you guys next time. Peace.